Fans have seen the hunger-driven athlete Coy Wire can be on the field. However, they don't know what it takes for him to have the drive off the field. This evening, we have Atlanta's very own linebacker, number 52, Coy Wire. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good, no problem. You are in your 9th season as an NFL athlete and your 3rd as a Falcon. Did you see yourself playing this long in the NFL?
I did, actually. I have seen myself playing for 10 years. That was my goal when I first came into the NFL. I set a lofty goal of 10 years, and I'm on my way. I haven't made it yet, but I'm very fortunate and thankful for the 9 years that I have had. It's already been an amazing opportunity and experience, and I'm so blessed.
Thus far, who has your favorite coach been?
My favorite coach, they each have provided something different for me as a player. As a head coach, I look at somebody who needs to be able to inspire, rally the troops, the general of an army, if you will, and they've each had their own style. I really like Coach Smith a lot. He's very passionate. He's very, very hungry, and he lets you know that. And I think you've seen that in the past. Last year, when he got in a fight on the sidelines and got fined by the NFL for that passion. And as a player, you respect that. And so we know he really, and all coaches are obviously, they care about the game, but that fire and that passion that he brings is special.
Good. When you were younger, who were your heroes?
When I was younger, my heroes, well, I know it's a cliche, but my parents, for one, absolutely. I learned most of what I know from them, the values they've instilled in me. But outside of my family, I was really molded and shaped by Bruce Lee and Walter Payton. Just their philosophy on life and the way they approach the time they've been given here on this earth was an inspiration to me.
Now, are they still the same heroes, or do you look up to others now that you've grown up? And
they're definitely still, they've influenced my life, and I continue to seek out people who can help me become a better person. I'm never content. So heroes, they've kind of switched. I mean, you look at motivational, inspirational speakers like Robin Sharma, who his philosophy on life and how it should be lived and how to take advantage of the moments you've been given have become an inspiration for me. And believe it or not, some of the people who inspire me the most are young kids. I have a gym back in Pennsylvania where we train athletes, and we're going to start doing it here in Atlanta, open up a facility where we can train kids. And I say they inspire me because they're so hungry and they're so driven to be successful, to make it. They have goals and they want to achieve them, and to see that raw hunger and passion is inspiring, because even at the NFL level, that hunger and passion is sometimes lost and forgotten, and people get caught up in the monotony of doing what they do. So to see that pure passion and intent to accomplish a goal is inspirational.
Okay, now speaking of inspiration, when have you needed inspiration the most during, I guess, a difficult time in your life?
When have I needed inspiration the most? Well, I've been very fortunate. I think we all need inspiration and need motivation. It's tough to do this thing called life on your own, and I've been very fortunate. I have an amazing wife who I'm with every day, and she balances me out. She keeps my mind right, and like I talked about, my family, and they've been monumental in helping make me the person I am. And I try to surround myself with friends, people who are like-minded, who are of good moral value and character, and they uplift me and they keep me motivated and keep me inspired.
Okay. Now, outside of football, what is one goal you want to achieve?
Outside of football, one goal I want to achieve. Well, I have a little thing I do every day, is just to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday. And that's one thing I strive to achieve on a daily basis, because I figure if I can do that, just small improvements on a day-to-day basis, someday I'll be able to look back and say, well, I made it somewhere. I've progressed. So that's one thing that I try to do. I do have some long-term goals, and one of which is finishing the book that I've been writing. I'm almost done. It just needs to be edited and tweaked and rearranged, but I'm finished with it, for the most part, and I'm looking forward to that being released. It's a book about setting goals, about tapping into the power that you possess within, and teaching everyone and reminding everyone that they're more powerful than they know. And so I'll reveal some of the secret tips and tricks that I've used to help me get to where I've gone, and maybe that'll help kids and other people who have goals achieve theirs as well.
Okay, very nice. Now, have you ever thought about writing fiction?
I look at my life as fiction. I think it's just this big dream, and we kind of rewrite our experience on a day-to-day basis. We choose which way we want the story to go. As far as fictional books, I have not, but maybe I'll have to think about that, because that could be fun.
Could be.
That could be fun.
Now, what other passions do you have outside of football, and I guess outside of writing?
Outside of writing and football, I would say pranking people.
Really?
Yeah, pranking people is definitely a passion of mine. I mean, if I'm not playing football, if I'm not writing or reading, it's thinking up, devising plans that I can scare somebody, make someone look silly, hide in the back of someone's car in the parking lot waiting for them to leave, and jumping out at unsuspecting victims at unsuspecting times. I'm compilating a video log right now, and a website's being created, and I'm going to be able to release to the public a lot of these images and videos of my victims. So, yeah.
Hopefully I'm not one today.
We'll see.
Now, you talked about you like scaring people. So I guess Halloween is favorite time of year?
It's my second favorite holiday.
Okay.
Yes, my first favorite is April Fool's, of course,
Forgot about that
Yeah,
one.
best holiday of the year. But yeah, Halloween is my second favorite, and I have a collection of masks. I try to add one new mask to each year, and found a good one this year. Haven't used it yet. I'm waiting until the next away game, so don't tell anybody. But
They're sealed.
yeah, it's coming out.
Well, good. Now, what is one misconception people have about you?
One misconception that people have about me, that I can play football.
But
Yeah,
I've seen
sounds
it, though.
crazy. I can play, but I probably shouldn't be in the NFL. I say that half jokingly. I feel like the mind is everything. What we think, we become, and I've willed myself into being a football player. Based on my genetics and based on my size, I probably shouldn't be playing football in the NFL, but I just believe that when you have a goal and if you're dedicated, disciplined, and responsible, that you can do anything. And so I kind of twisted that question around on you.
That's all right.
Just to make a point, but I don't know. What perceptions do you have of me? And I'll tell you if it's a misconception.
I don't know.
What do people
You're a
say
tough
about
guy?
me? That I'm a tough, yeah. I guess that's partially true most of the time. But no, I think that misconceptions, I would say, that's a tough question, because I'd have to hear things about me, and I try not to read what people say, and I try not to let myself know what people think of me, because I know what I think, I know what I want, and that's all that matters to me.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you said you don't think you should be playing football. What do you think you should be doing?
Well, no, I believe it's my purpose.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying physically, it probably shouldn't have worked, So that's all I meant by that.
Okay. Now, does faith play a large role in your life on and off the field?
Absolutely. Faith, a lot of people have different ways of having faith about something or in something or belief in something or someone. And absolutely, I believe that there is a higher power, no matter what you want to call it, whether you want to call it Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, or some higher part of yourself. There's definitely something that we can tap into, and if we believe in it, it can help elevate us so that we can go from being an ordinary human being to being someone who is extraordinary. So I believe that that's part of our purpose here is to find that power, realize that it's there, and learn how to continually refine yourself so that you can access it and you can use it to do good in your life and in the lives of others as well.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for most?
I want to be remembered for being a good guy. You know, and it sounds simple, it sounds silly, but it's hard to find good people in this world. I think that's unfortunate, and I pride myself on being the best person that I can be, whether it's being the best football player I can be, or the best writer I can be, best brother, friend, son. I feel that I want to live a life so that someday people can say, no, that really was a genuine person, someone that when they said something, they meant it, and they meant what they said. And so, you know, to me, that's being a good person, and that's what I strive to be.
Okay. Now, getting back to football, congratulations on being on a winning back-to-back Falcons team.
Yes, thank you.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be on that?
It feels great. You know, I didn't really know the history of the Atlanta Falcons, but when I realized that had never been done and that we were on the verge of accomplishing that goal, I was so honored and privileged to be able to be a part of that, and worked even harder than I thought than I was working. You know, I knew that there was more that we could all put into this thing and to make that happen, and to watch a group of guys come together and do something that had never been done. I mean, that's an incredible experience, and I think that's just the beginning. This organization is doing some wonderful things on the field and off the field. It's an organization that has a purpose and a passion, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of it.
Okay. As a player who had a neck injury in the past, explain to me how you feel about the new helmet-to-helmet rules that are going around the NFL.
Well, I think it's necessary. Guys are getting bigger and faster, so at some point you needed to implement some sort of rule that was going to prevent serious injuries, whether it's to the neck or to the head with concussions. And at first there's going to be a lot of controversy, there's going to be a lot of whining and complaining, but at some point it's going to be the norm. It's going to be accepted. There have been rule changes in the past that weren't taken so well in the beginning, but now it's an afterthought. And I feel this will be the same way. Once we learn as football players, you know, starting at the pee-wee pony midget level up through high school, and you learn not to use your head and try to keep your head out of it, then it will just become an afterthought. And once you make it to the NFL, it will be no big deal. So I think you'll see all the talk and the hype about this new rule die down quite a bit, and at some point it's just going to be an afterthought.
As a player, how do you feel about the labor agreement and the possible strike next year?
You know, it's one of those things where you would like to be able to comment on it, but I'm not sure that I can, because there's a lot of negotiations that have gone on, a lot of literature and research, and you know, the players have their people they've hired to entrust doing their job and to get the best situation to happen, and the NFL has done the same, and you know, we as players, we're left in the dark for the most part. I mean, if you really want to get involved and research it, you can. I personally have not been one of those players. You know, I just feel like I'm going to do what I need to do and stand by my players, the player union. You know, it's a group, an organization that I've signed off on and chose to be a part of. So I'm going to let the people that we put in power to make those decisions. And I hope that we play football next year, not just for me, and for football players, but for the fans and for all the people who work in our organization. You know, people work on the grounds crews, the field people, the you know, Miss Patty who works in the cafeteria. You know, these are people who all wouldn't have jobs. You know, people forget about those other than football players who are going to be affected by this. So I really hope that everything gets worked out and that we can just play some football.
Yeah. How do you see the rest of the season going for the Falcons?
I see it going perfectly. No bumps, no nail-biting games anymore. We've had all those already. we've lost enough already. You know, we're just gonna win the rest of our games, go to the Super Bowl, and bring home big fancy rings. And you know, that's the way I see it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
And to see Coy Wire's faith-driven performance on the field, get your ticket for an Atlanta Falcons home game at the Georgia Dome. I'm Emily Adams with GSU 47. I'll see you at the Dome.